Hi, this is Karen at Snickerdoodle Designs, and today we're going to take a look at creating two-page spreads in our scrapbooks. So what is a two-page spread? It's simply the placement of two scrapbook pages side by side that provide an overall cohesive look to a layout. You might choose to use this technique when you want to showcase a particular theme or perhaps an event while you have multiple photos to share. I created this two-page spread for my son's album way back in 1998, and this is what I would call a theme-oriented spread. The theme of this page is his good habits and his bad habits. The title right up here says Cultivate Good Habits, the Bad Ones Grow Like Weeds, and I was able to showcase multiple pictures of him both being angelic and mischievous. Here is a layout by a member of my creative team. Her name is Renee, and she created this event two-page spread. Over here on the left, she highlighted her favorite photograph from this photo shoot of her grandchildren, and on the right, she scrapped just fun takeouts from the day, and putting them together created a really nice cohesive layout. She was using the collaboration between myself, Snickerdoodle Designs, Diane, ADB Designs, and Gilbert's Bits of Bites for this. It's a snap as both a traditional kit, which Renee used here, and then we also have some pocket templates, which she used for the second page. And then thirdly, a member of my creative team, Norma, was using the same kit, and what she did was she started out with these red arrows in mind, and I'll get to those in a second, but she started out creating a traditional page here on the left, and then she thought, I really have some other pictures I'd like to add, so I'm going to add a second page. And she took the templates from Mrs. Snap, she altered them just a little bit to suit her needs, which was absolutely perfect. But when she put the two pages side by side, because she originally hadn't intended to make a two-page spread, she noticed that some of the elements did not transition nicely from one page to the next. And so today we're going to focus on how to fix that. So let's bring up her first page. This is her first layout. And then let's bring up the second page. And it's off my screen, so I just need to bring it over here a little bit. There we go. All right. Now, what I have done is I'll cover that up just to keep my screen a little bit clean. I have color-coded these because I'm going to put both pages on one document, and I want to be able to distinguish which is which. So here I have just clicked on the top layer, hit Shift, come down to the bottom layer, and that selected all of those layers. When I right-clicked on one of the layers, I was given the option of adding a color to those layers, and I chose red. So all of these colors, red colors, indicate all the layers that are on this page. I also clicked the chain icon because I wanted to link them together so that I can move them very easily without losing anything. And then I have already done the same thing for the second page. Doesn't look like I linked them, so let me go ahead and do that. But you see I've given these a yellow color. So now what we want to do is put two 12-inch by 12-inch pages next to each other. So we know that the document is going to be 24 inches wide and 12 inches long. So let's go ahead and create a new document by going to File, New, and I'll just change this to 24. So we have a 24-inch wide document. It's 12 inches high, 300 resolution, and the background is transparent. It could be solid. It doesn't really matter for this. Bring this down just a little bit so we can see it. Alright, so this is page 1, and because these are linked, all I have to do is just grab these and drag it over and drop it in this document. I'll bring it right over to the edge here. So nudge it down just a little bit, and that looks about right. Move this out of the way, and now here we have the second page. and I will bring these over and drop these here. And again, let's just move that out of the way. Okay, and they're linked again, so I can just move this around until I get it where I want. Alrighty, so you can see we have some problems right here and right here. At this point, I want to leave the color, but I want to unlock these because I want to be able to move them. So again, I'm going to click on the top layer, hit shift, and click on the bottom layer, and that will select all the layers, and then I will just click on the link here to unlock these. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so this, I'm going to click on one of these just to select, deselect all of those. So this is a layer right here, and I can see that this is the layer I want to work with. I use color coding a lot just to help me remember where I am or easily see where I am. So I'm going to change that to orange. And I think I want that on top of this, so I'm going to change that to blue. So here, let's grab this and move it right on top of a blue one, and that looks better right away. Move it up a little bit, and this flower has been, okay, here's the flower. Let's bring that on top of the blue. Looks like we need to go up one more layer. And this one right here. Let's bring that up again. Okay. That looks good. Now the flower's good. These look nice. This is a nice transition from one page to the next. And then this is the line for the pages, and so you can see now this one looks really nice too. So that's a very nice transition, and the other problem she had was with the stem up here, and we have solved that by moving those branches also. So that looks really good. Now I would go ahead and do File, Save. Sorry, hit the wrong thing. I'd go ahead and do File, Save, and save my PSD so that I could go back and change things if I wanted. So let's assume I've done that. And before I would save it, I would duplicate it. And I do that just by right-clicking on the top of my bar here and hitting Duplicate. Okay, and now this is my original. I'm going to go ahead and save it. Let's pretend like I've saved it. I'm going to close it though. And now this is my duplicate that I'm working on. And I don't need the layers because I know everything is perfectly how I want it. So we're just going to right-click on any layer and do Flatten Image. And now I have one layer to work with. I'm going to need two of these because I'm going to need the right side and the left side. So again, I'm going to duplicate this. And I'll move that duplicate out of the way. So there are two ways that I'm going to show you how to separate these so we actually have two pages. If you're going to upload these to Shutterfly or your favorite printing site, you're going to have a 12 by 12 page or an 8 by 8 page if you resize it. So that's what we need to do right now. So probably one of the easiest ways is just to go to File, New, create a 12 by 12 document, and just drag this over and position it along the left, and then I could go ahead and crop it and save it, and now I have my right side. I would do the same thing to create the left side. I would just bring it over and move it to the left side. Again, crop it. And that's one way of doing it. I'm going to get rid of that right now. And then another way to do it, and this is just all personal preference, it's how you like it. I think that way is pretty easy myself. But here's another way. We can pull a guideline out from our ruler here, and when we get to the 12-inch mark, it's going to snap right in place. You can see how it kind of snaps there when I get right to that 12-inch mark. And you're going to have to make sure that you have your guidelines set up right. So you go to View, Snap To, and make sure you're snapping to guides. Now once we have our guide in place, we can just choose our crop tool, and we could either drag out a 12 by 12 mark, or a page, I'm sorry, or we could just drag from the left. And when we pull this in, it's going to snap right there to that guideline. And just click OK to commit that, and now you have your right page. And then of course you do the same thing for your left. And that's why we've wanted 2 pages to duplicate, so when we crop that, we haven't lost our second page. And that's really how easy it is. I'm sure that there are probably other ways to make this happen. These are just my 2 favorite ways, so choose the way that you like best, and make some great 2-page spreads for your scrapbook pages. I hope you found this simple. I hope you found it helpful. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next week.